Okay, I am going to do a quick run through of the different chief bosses and the positioning for them and who you need on your teams, etc. So I normally get in there by going overworld exploration and clicking on one of the things, and then it'll take you to the map. So I will start off with, okay, so let's do the cold one. Challenge. I don't like how it loads up completely different teams and their positioning. Okay, so where is my ice boss? The first team I'm using. So this one with the cold damage one, you don't actually need a tank. Having a tank isn't relevant, but you do need someone for healing, because the way that Alton attacks you, it is completely random. So it doesn't really matter about the positioning at all. And it doesn't matter whether you have a tank in there or not, but you do need someone in there that hopefully adds defense and resistance to the team and will also provide healing. For the team, I've found that the best damage is with the Ice Blast heroes, so it doesn't matter whether they're melee or ranged or anything. You just need to make sure that if you do have a healer in there, that everyone is positioned so that they can take advantage of that healing. So my healer for this one, I got Ardrith, and I've leveled her up and put a few scrolls in her. She is really good, because she increases all allies' defense by 30% in all battles, and she has this awesome skill where she adds this buff, like this blessing stack. The more stacks that are on, the healing increases as well, and their defense and resistance also increases, so that is really cool. If you've got her and she's leveled up, use her in this. She's awesome. And I've not bothered putting on like the free set. I'll just show you. And another good option for this battle could be Quarion. I use him in my other ice team, or you can use Garius. I can't really think of many like frost and ice healers, but I have her in there, and I also have Vorish in because Vorish does a little bit of healing as well. So I've got the playing card relic thing on her, and only the 2-piece set of this. I've not gone for the 3-piece because if you put the 3-piece on, it means the wearer takes 15% of the damage that otherwise would be taken by allies. Gives a 15% damage reduction. You only really need to use the 3-piece of that set if they are extremely tanky and the whole team is taking damage. The whole team is taking damage, but she's not really a tank. She helps with defense and healing, but I wouldn't really call her a tank. And the hits are completely random, so you don't know who's going to get hit or who's... so I don't find that the 3-piece set is helpful there. And I've got 3 Ice Blast on my team. So Nord, he's a rare, he's fully scrolled. He's great. He does a lot of damage if you gear him. I have the shoe horse thing on him to bump the crit damage, because it gives him 60% crit damage. And the 3-piece gambler set, so on your attack damage dealers, I'm finding the 3-piece gamblers, or the other 3-piece set, the inventor set, is the best one for them. Stack all your damage dealers with high crit rates and high crit damage and attack. I also have Girthin, who's my top damage dealer, and she's got the eyeball on. My text message is popping up. I told him not to text me whilst I was making videos. And I've got Bledding, and he's got the crit rate bone and the inventor set on, and so they all have high crit rates. I did manage to get the witch's remains, which is absolutely awesome. So I've put Voresh in here. He does a little bit of healing, and he's also my support. So I've got the 3-piece Cyril set on him, so he needs high accuracy, because he will, when you use that set, the rest of the team will get a 15% damage buff, and also he will apply the debuff from this onto the enemy, which it applies defense penalty to, which is absolutely awesome. That's like 50% defense penalty. So you want preferably whoever's doing your support, or if you're using Voresh, to have a bit more skill haste on them, and make sure they have enough accuracy so they can land this first, and then the rest of your damage dealers go after. If you don't have the witch's remains, it's the only legendary artifact I have, because I just got lucky with a duplicate legendary. You can put the crown of the unclean on them, which also applies a defense penalty, which is this one. That is something that most people should have and should have been able to level up.
The world shall return to the end.
So you want Voresh or your support person. If you do have anyone that does the attack penalty as well, that would be helpful. So you don't have Voresh, but you've decided to put in someone for support, that can have the Cyril set on and the crown or the witch's remains. And they do like attack down, then that would also be helpful. But I've gone with longevity over this, and he adds a little bit of healing as well. So I've got my 3 damage dealers and Ardra for healing and attack. And let's see how this does. I got over 22 million yesterday. Let's go. So I'm just going to slow these down just to make sure that Voresh definitely goes first. Yes, he did. And then all these can be set off. You can see at the top, you've got the little defense buff that's been applied. That means all the damage whilst that's on is increased. Let's go. This is completely random, the RNG on this, because he attacks completely random. So sometimes you may have to run this a few times. Like, for example, if Alton decides to attack with his ultimate the same person, like 3, 4, 5 times in a row, then you're not going to have a successful run. So if you have a bad run, it's not necessarily that they're geared wrong or the team's wrong, it just might be bad luck. And your team's not been targeted very well. So just run it again. Sometimes I just have to hit redeploy and run it a few more times, and then it's successful. If you don't have any Ice Blast heroes leveled up, I do have a second cold team that has frost damage dealers. You just need to make sure whoever your frost enabler is goes first before the ones that apply more attack when there's frost on them. That team, I have Quarion as the healer, and I have Orsta, Rava and Rowena as my frost people. That gets over 11 million, but obviously this team is much better, so I am showing you this one. Ice Blast is much better at doing damage on single target enemies, whereas Frost is better for AoE damage. But if that's all you've got, sometimes you just got to build a team out of the heroes that you have. This is not doing too bad. But she's... right, okay. Ardrev's healing is quite awesome on longer fights, because the more stacks of blessing that she gives, so they've all got, you can see little symbols over the top with a little defense thingy. And other things, they've now got 10 stacks on them, so that means whilst they're blessed, the healing is increased. So on longer fights, not great on the healing at first, but after a few rounds, the healing increases, which is great. Oh no, I started losing people. Damn you, this might not be a very lucky one. I might have to run this again. Yes, I'm gonna have to run this again. I will not accept 20 million. But I'm very sure, because I managed to do it yesterday, I will be able to get over 22 million if I run this one. I'm not going to save, I'm going to redeploy. But there you go, there's